What's up, guys, and thanks for tuning in to CRÜZR Radio, episode number 41. I'm your host, Andrew Taylor, and today we're joined in by our founder, Mr. Chad Rice, and a couple of my former ag teachers from Alvin C. York, Sam Brown and Marissa Wright. Sam and Marissa are taking strides to teach and maintain what agriculture means to the economy. Not only that, but they have partnered with Sawbriar Hunting Lodge to combine the agro-tourism and the outdoor industry in a program called Field to Fork. Let's get into it.
We got some special guests coming on here in a minute, but man, I wanted to talk about some like wing shooting and our experiences with, that type of hunting. It's a little bit different for us since we're, I own a saddle hunting company. It's bow hunting predominantly, but I grew up skeet shooting at my parents' house, and I didn't really do much bird hunting until later on in life, but I've always loved shooting a shotgun. How much experience you got with wing shooting or bird hunting or
minimal?
You know what I mean?
I mean, majority of it, but just as deer hunting is important, so is bird. Yeah, maybe not so much in our area. As it is the Dakotas
for upland hunting and stuff like that. I mean,
definitely dove hunting. Been pheasant hunting a time or two. It's fun.
Was that on like a game farm or?
Yeah. So it was actually out at Sawbriar.
Okay.
Up in Jamestown.
That's cool. I've been to it's Meadow something. Meadow. It's up in Moss, Tennessee, I think, or somewhere up in that area.
Sure.
Me, Alex, and Terry went up there and shot one day.
Alex kills anything that flies.
Alex likes to hunt everything, man. We need to get him on a podcast. Probably right when duck season opens or right before it. That way we can talk about that, because I think that's his bread and butter, his forte. He grew up doing that since he was a little kid, and he got me into duck hunting. Well, sort of. I guess duck hunting Middle Tennessee. He threw me in the deep end there. Yeah. The deep mud, I would say, the river mud on
There's
the
people
Cumberland.
that look at upland hunting just like you do duck hunting, though. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean,
it's completely different.
Dude, if you ever go, it's fun.
It is.
I mean, watching the dogs work, and it's a super good time. I mean, it's sort of like duck hunting, except you're walking around. You're not in a blind. You're just walking around and letting the dogs do their thing. They'll point, and then they'll flush the bird and you shoot it. But the most time you're just BSing with your buddies, walking around and trying to flush birds.
My wife's grandpa, he goes to South Dakota every year.
Yeah.
And last year it was like 3 foot of snow.
I bet that was tough. Probably didn't even shoot much, did he?
No, he's like 70s.
Oh, yeah.
He said it was all I could do just to walk. So he sent Bree and his little brother. He's like, go flush him off. I'll stay over here on the road. They didn't have no dog, but.
Oh, well. I think upland hunting with a dog, I mean, I feel like that's what it's all about, really.
Just watching the dog. I mean, that's the craziest thing.
Yeah, dude, the instinct they have, I mean, because a lot of the pointers and stuff, I feel like you definitely need to train them, to retrieve and all that stuff. But I think the pointing and flushing the birds is pretty instinctual.
Oh, yeah.
Which is super awesome to watch.
What kind of dogs is that? German short hair?
German short hair. I mean, there's a ton of different dogs. I'm not even sure, man.
I know what they look like. I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Like Irish setter? Or is that just a boot?
Setter's a good one for that as well. Which I got a buddy, he does, he trains a bunch of duck dogs. We might try to get Tim on to do a podcast as well. But yeah, there's a bunch of different dogs you can use. I mean, you could use a lab too, technically. We used Terry's Weimaraner when we went.
Really?
Yeah, which he did a pretty good job. I mean, it was tough to get him to find the birds after we shot them, but when he'd get on the scent, he'd pick them up and bring them back. He was a good pup.
Y'all just went shoot pheasant? Or?
No, we shot pheasant and quail.
Oh, okay.
You ever eaten any pheasant or quail?
Pheasant, not quail.
They're both really good.
Really?
Better than dove.
What?
Dove's pretty good, but they're better than dove, I promise. Yeah, man.
I've always been told that chucker is really good, and they're also a blast to shoot.
I bet. I bet they are. I've never been.
I know they're a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
When you go to a bird farm. And
Yeah.
I think you can kill like quite a few more than you can pheasant.
Okay. I didn't think there was a limit on those whenever you go to a
Maybe
game
there
farm.
ain't.
Yeah, I don't think there is on a game farm.
Maybe they just tell you how many you can shoot or something.
I think they'll let you shoot as many as you buy. Because the one we went to, that game farm we went to, we purchased all the birds, and then they went and set them out. And, you know, it was just...
Yeah.
It's a lot different than going out west and hunting wild pheasant and quail and stuff like that, which I haven't seen a bobwhite or any quail, anything like that in the wild, especially in Tennessee. And,
I don't know if I've ever seen one in a while.
man, when I was a kid, I remember being like 7, 8, 9 years old. We had a small little covey of quail and a couple pheasant like that ran around.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say neighborhood, but I lived out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I grew up on 7 acres, and my neighbor had a couple hundred probably. But yeah, we would see they would roost in the cedar tree up by the house, and we'd always see them.
What do you think happened to them? Just
man,
possums and raccoons.
I think a lot of the predators probably, and then habitat loss.
Yeah,
habitat loss is a huge one, man.
Yeah,
for sure. A lot of people are not letting fields grow up anymore and stuff like that, and they really need the cover, you know, for nesting and all that stuff. So
they're not tree birds, but they will roost in trees.
Yeah, they do roost in trees. Yeah. Most it's sort of like a turkey. Yeah. Turkeys will roost in trees and nest on the ground. Yeah, and I'm not sure about quail. They might. I think they're ground nesting birds as well. Yeah. I don't know about roosting as far as those. I know pheasants will sometimes roost in trees. I don't know much about those, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, you can tell we hunt a lot more deer.
Yeah, we're deer hunters more than anything, turkey hunters, but seems like they probably do that.
Yeah. So we used to have a lease, the Sawbriar I was telling you about. It backed up to the river, and then on the other side of the river was our lease, and we would see some quail and stuff. I mean, very rarely, but we know exactly where they come from.
Yeah, they probably got away from the farm over there, yeah.
We never did kill none.
I was going to say, when I went to Kentucky, I guess that was last weekend, and deer hunted, I saw some wild bobwhite.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I haven't seen bobwhite since I was a little kid.
Yeah. I don't know if I could pick them out of the wild.
Yeah, you could. If you knew what they look like, you could definitely.
Generally, I know.
Yeah.
But I mean,
they're a cool little bird.
That's a whole nother industry as well, the upland industry. I mean, it's just as big as the deer, I think. Yeah. Or bigger.
Yeah. I want to say that's probably like a rich man sport.
Yeah.
Upland game.
Yeah, you get in them over and unders and golly.
Oh, yeah, dogs. Dude. I got a buddy, man. He is a shotgun connoisseur, and he showed me in his safe one day. He's got a $5,000 shotgun.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. He does a lot of trap shooting and stuff like that. So,
it's like you can go down here to.
It was like a competition gun, yeah.
What's that gun store in Red Bowling? Is it Red Bowling? I don't remember what it's called, but they have one room that is just like
high-end shotguns.
Do not go in here.
Yeah, unless you
this stuff is expensive.
Unless you got the bank.
Yeah.
There's actually an antique gun store on the square in Cookeville.
Really?
Did you know that? Yeah. What's that? Right by Char, that antique store.
Yeah.
If you go in the basement of that, it's an antique gun store.
Really?
Yep.
I walked right by that the other day. Fall Fire Fest. Never even knew that.
Yeah, it's an antique gun store. Alex went in there and bought I think it was a 50s model A5.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
I got something I need to take to him then, see what it's worth. I got like
Hold on, son. Take it to me first.
No,
what you got?
I don't want to sell it. I just want to know what it's worth. It's a
what is it?
It's a pre-war Sweet 16.
Oh, nice.
Don't know what date it is, but it does have the what is it? The broom handle stock or whatever it's called. It's round on the knob.
Okay, yeah.
I have no idea where it come from. It's old.
It's in good condition.
Oh, I've shot it.
But it's in like good condition.
I mean, it has a little bit of pitting.
Yeah.
But I mean, the gold is wore off the trigger. It's been used, but as far it's great. Pull it out, shoot it. I've had it for 20 years.
It's awesome, man.
I don't know what to do with it. Keep it, obviously,
Keep it,
but
man.
I would love to know like what it's worth.
Pass it down to your boy when he gets all off.
He won't want that though. He'll want that Maxis. I don't want that whole thing.
No, you got to just teach him. Hey, these old guns, they got some meaning, some worth.
I've sold a couple guns in my lifetime that I'd give anything I'd keep. I would have.
I don't sell many guns. I buy them all. I don't sell many, but
if there's one I want,
yeah,
and I know I got 2 cheap ones, I'll sell the cheap ones to buy the one I want.
You know what sucks, man, is when my parents' house burned down, my dad had a bunch of guns that got lost in the fire, dude. I'd give anything to have those back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, that sucks.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No, I mean, so we got some special guests coming on here in a minute.
Yeah.
Who are they exactly?
Actually,
used to be your teachers, right?
2 former agriculture teachers at Elvin C. York.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I took at least one of their class every single year.
Yeah.
So I know them well. But
yeah, that's awesome.
They've started a little thing up there and introducing kids to agriculture, introducing kids to the outdoors at the same time.
It's awesome.
Making them work. I mean,
yeah,
doing a lot of hands-on stuff up at the farm. Stuff you don't usually see at a typical high school.
That's super cool, man, because you don't see that in high school programs very much anymore.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that more kids need is hands-on, like experience with farming and livestock and all that stuff, and that's pretty much what they're doing, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
they are
awesome.
Everything up there the kids do. So, if you take people like them and people like Scott and
our buddy Scott does that too.
Yeah, they're pumping out. I mean, they're showing kids avenues they never even thought they'd see.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. They got a heart for the kids and heart for agricultural life and hunting and
especially in our area. I mean, agriculture a long time ago used to be a lot bigger than what it is.
It's still pretty big, but I mean,
is.
They're doing things that are a little bit different.
I guess you would call it agro-tourism.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Well, let's get them on.
Let's hop in.
All right.
I appreciate y'all making the drive down. Introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are, what you do.
Well, I'm Sam Brown. I'm the CTE Director and Farm Manager at Alvin C. York Agricultural Institute in Jamestown, Tennessee.
And I am Marissa Wright. I am an agriculture educator, and I work alongside Sam at Alvin C. York Institute.
Some former teachers of mine, for sure. So, first off, really, I mean, I just want to brag on what y'all are doing, making strides up at York. Not only the agriculture side, but our industry as well, the outdoor industry, doing some big things.
Right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on up there?
Well, one of the things we're going to talk about, I guess, is our Feathers to Fork program. And basically what that is we raise pheasants for a hunt at the end of October, which is held at the Sawbriar Hunting Lodge in Allert, Tennessee. And how this all came about is Fred and Rhonda Moody, who owned the Sawbriar, came to school one day and said they had this idea of how the farm maybe could get involved with them and be like a fundraiser so our farm could make some money. And he gave us this idea about raising the pheasants for the hunt. And it all sounded great, but I told him our farm doesn't have the money in our account to cover the overhead at this time for this. Yeah. So a couple of days later, Fred came back. He says, hey, I've got it figured out. So he had talked to the Eye Centers of Tennessee, and they gave us a $15,000 donation to get everything started. So that's how it all started. So we used that money to build the fly pens. Our students built the brooders. We ordered the feeders. Then, of course, we ordered the birds. Yeah. And that's how it all got started.
So are pheasants the only thing y'all raise up there?
Oh, no. We have a menagerie, you might say. We've got pheasants, quails, ducks, guineas, chickens, turkeys, sheep, goats, hogs, cattle, donkeys, peacocks, honeybees.
It's all petting zoo, basically.
Pretty much, yes. We're very diversified now because a lot of our kids were intimidated with the cattle.
Yeah.
So we got some smaller things like sheep and goats so they wouldn't be as intimidated. So it's all working out.
It's a good place to start, yeah.
Yes.
You're about like 7 years too late. I mean,
about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
yeah, I could. That would have been something real cool.
Yeah.
And
It's
I'm
real
sure
fun.
the kids are overjoyed to be able to go up there and do all that stuff.
We're able now to take our kids up there pretty much from 8 to 3 and work on the farm
Wow.
and get them exposed. So I take my first block up there. They feed and they take care of everything in the morning times. And there's different programs that we incorporate. So we have a heifer development program, which we kind of model after the UT heifer development program. And so we try to work those as early as possible. But basically what we do is we prepare them for synchronized artificial insemination, and then we will sell them in the spring as bred heifers. And so they get to experience all of that from weighing them, vaccinating them, actually artificially inseminating them. And then the other side of it, the business side of it, is getting to see them sold and go to hopefully a community member in Ventress County.
Yeah. So you're actually letting the kids do 99% of the work.
They do. Yes, they do a lot of it. And I mentioned turkeys for Thanksgiving. We raise turkeys, and a couple days before Thanksgiving, our students will process those turkeys and sell them to our community. Fresh, never frozen, farm raised turkeys.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing the governor come down for.
Yes, we gave the governor one of our first batches, you may say, of a turkey. And we process chickens. We process rabbits. Our kids are big time right now into processing, and our big finale, or what do you word here? We're building a slaughterhouse. That's our ultimate goal.
Oh, really?
We're going to build a slaughterhouse that we're going to be able to process our own food, our own products, and serve in our cafeteria, and allow the community to bring their products so we can process it for them. Because there's one slaughterhouse close to us right now, and it's always booked up. You can't get in.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
So that's going to take a lot of pressure off of them.
So the slaughterhouse, is it going to be just farm-raised animals, or except wild game or anything? Or?
Well, we're thinking about letting our students, if a student kills a deer, let him do his own deer. Probably won't open it up for public for deer because it would be
it'd be swamp.
exactly.
You would not have any time to do it.
No.
So back to the pheasants. What does that whole process look like? I mean, from start to finish, do you get them?
We order them as a day old.
Okay.
Day old chicks. They mail them to us, of course, and then we put them in brooders for the first couple of weeks. They're in this little small brooders.
Mm-hmm.
Then they'll move to a bigger pen for the next up to 6 weeks. And once they get 6 weeks old, we move them to the fly pens. And throughout this whole process, the students are doing everything.
Wow.
They're feeding them every day. And when we catch them, before we put them in the fly pens, we have to put blinders on them.
Mm-hmm.
The students are doing that. So
What
it's cool.
What keeps them from just being lazy when you turn them out? I mean, how do you keep them gamey?
they're just naturally gamey. They
Yeah.
say a pheasant and a
Instinct, I
quail
guess,
is not
yeah.
the same. Like the quail, if we raise the quail, they don't fly real well because they
Sure.
get used to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pheasants are just wild and they stay
Naturally wild.
Yes.
Wha-
Yeah.
How come they have to put blinders on them? What's the
Well, they say if you don't, they'll start fighting each other because they're in a confined area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but we've sort of doing an experiment this year. We put one pen with blinders,
Mm-hmm.
the other pen without, and of course the pen without are doing a whole lot better.
Mhm.
They're better looking birds.
Yeah.
So
How many
Makes
birds a
sense.
year are you raising?
this year we ordered 500.
Wow.
Yeah, and we'll use them all that one hunt. That
Really?
One day. Yeah.
And you said what's the end goal with the birds you're selling them to, or
We're not selling them to the hunt lodge.
Okay.
That's just they're giving us that one day.
Oh,
That's
I got
our
you.
day. That's our hunt.
to
Every
hunt
hunt,
'em.
yes.
Okay.
That's what we
Awesome.
sell. We have 16 hunts that we sell,
Yeah,
and the hunters come down. and
sure,
we'll have 2 hunters, a guide, and a student go out hunting.
awesome.
So
Do you
Cool.
see programs like that, like maybe attracting kids that aren't typically within ag?
Yes, I think just over the past year, our numbers have increased in our ag program. We already have students signed up, ready to go because they're so interested. And as a matter of fact, we've seen the impact last year. We already have students working at the Saltburn Hunting Lodge because of their involvement with the hunt last year. And so not only is it providing them maybe an alternative agriculture opportunity, but it's providing them jobs too.
Yeah.
And I think also we forget that this is something that they could do in their backyard. You don't have to have a large area. And so for them to be able to see that, hey, I can do this, anywhere, is very beneficial to them too. And so we have definitely, I think, seen an increase in involvement just overall an excitement and just a different culture, I guess you can say,
Yeah.
in our ag program because of this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and it falls right into our industry as well, the outdoor industry. So
Yes.
there's all kinds of jobs in the outdoor
Oh,
industry.
yes. Some of the kids have never, will have never had the opportunity to go upland bird hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, because of this, they're getting that exposure. They're learning about conservation.
Mm-hmm.
During the day of the hunt, they're learning about hospitality. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things there they can learn. And there's more than one field in agriculture is what we're trying to teach
Oh,
our
yeah.
kids. It's not just cows and plows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agriculture is Tennessee's number one industry, and that's the reason, because it's a broad field.
So I guess that would be kind of like an agro-tourism or
Almost,
It-
yes,
yes.
yes.
something like
yes,
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
crazy thing. And
I feel like it's something that, there's not many of those programs out there.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like a dying way of life. There's
Right.
not a ton of people, raising livestock and especially, I mean, obviously we got a lot of cattle, but, other birds, like you said, turkeys and hogs or whatever,
Right.
goats. I know there's not a ton of those around
No,
anymore.
we just
So
let our kids know where our food comes from.
yeah, exactly.
Where does it come from?
Exactly.
Walmart? No. Well, it comes
No.
from somewhere else before it gets to Walmart.
And I mean, that's important for us as hunters.
Yeah.
It's the biggest reason we do it is to feed our family
Right.
nutritious,
Right.
like non-antibiotic meat
Right.
and, super healthy meat. So, no, that's awesome.
are pheasants, are they native to Tennessee?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're just died, slowed down
There's
quite
just
a
very
bit.
few wild ones left.
Yeah.
We don't have much habitat for them anymore.
That's
so.
what
Yeah.
and that's one of the things we're teaching our kids is about
Yeah.
habitat, because everybody, when you pass their pasture, it's all mowed down, looks real nice. Their fence rows are cleared out.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty, but that's not the environment that the quail and the pheasant really want.
Yeah.
And actually, we teach our students, we plant Sudan as a cover crop inside their fly pens. And so they actually till the ground and plant it and so that they have some protection in those fly pens. And so
Yeah.
our students are hands-on with that too.
I feel like in today's societies, especially, there ain't a lot of kids that get to do some hands-on stuff, and stuff like this is teaching them like just general motor skills.
Exactly.
Like get out and
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
stuff you don't usually see. I mean, not everybody's gonna get a college degree. I mean, I don't
Exactly.
have one.
Exactly.
And programs like this definitely open up doors for not only the conservation side, but the outdoor industry side as
Exactly. That's what we were trying to do, just open up doors and broaden their horizon, you might
Yeah.
say.
Absolutely.
well. Are you looking like maybe in a couple years to grow it, make it something bigger?
Well, this year it was going to be bigger than last year, so I'm thinking every year it's going to grow a little bit, because even right now, Marissa has contacted a lot more vendors that are going to set up, because it's like an educational fair that day.
Yeah.
So basically, we will bus every one of our ag students down to the day of the hunt to the hunting lodge. So we'll have about 150 students that actually go to the hunting lodge that day. And we will have, last year we had an area where vendors would set up, and so our students could go around and talk to different businesses, universities, industry leaders, and just kind of figure out like there is more than just this or that, going to school to be an animal science major.
Sure.
And so that is something that we've really worked hard on, is to try to expand that a little bit more this year. We'll have anything from the University of Tennessee, Knoxville being there, to the Soil Conservation Office, Farm Bureau.
Several, the USDA,
Yes.
and the TWRA. TWRA is actually going to cook our lunch that day for us.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Yes, they do a real good job.
When is this hunt?
It's October 25th.
October 25th.
Yes.
Okay. That's cool.
I ain't surprised that TWRA hasn't tried to get y'all to work with them and reintroduce something.
We'd love to try that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
You
great
know,
idea.
at school on the farm, occasionally we'll turn some quail and things like that loose.
Yeah.
And we'll see them for a little while, but then
Yeah.
the foxes or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a big issue right now, even with turkey poults and everything like that. I mean, the fur market is not what it
Nothing.
used to be,
It's
so
non-existent,
it's non-existent. So we
Yeah.
have a lot more predators than
we've
we
had
used
a
to.
fox and coyote problem at school. We've captured
Yeah.
probably 3 big coyotes and 4 or 5 foxes, because they've been getting our lambs.
Yeah.
But we've taken care of a few of them. And
There you
That's
go.
something that nobody does anymore either.
they
Is
don't.
trap.
No,
Not like it used to. I mean,
no.
and coon hunt.
Right. No, not many.
I mean, back when I was 10 or 12, everybody coon hunted.
Yeah.
And 2 or 3 people from
yeah.
up there that trapped something.
Yeah.
Well, I'm from Baxter, and we had the coon hunt club right there by the interstate in
Okay,
Baxter. And I
right.
mean, it was every weekend. It was a huge thing.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
there was a ton of people there. So
Definitely. So,
Yeah.
how many kids are all of your kids in the ag classes, or is this like a program too that they can maybe they don't take ag, but they want to be involved in this? Is that something that's possible?
Well, what it is right now, it's just ag.
Yeah.
But it's a big draw for those kids that's not in ag.
Yeah.
They'll say, I want to take ag next fall so I can go to the hunt.
yeah,
So that's our draw.
So
That's cool.
used to it was like, I want to take Mr. Brown's class because it's super easy.
Yeah.
And now it's like, wait a minute, I want to take their class because it's super fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't that easy.
It wasn't totally easy.
Yeah.
We had a good time,
Yeah.
for
It
sure.
wasn't that easy.
But what you'll see is, going back to that though, easy. Sometimes kids don't want to work hard in the classroom, maybe in math or science, but they will absolutely
Yes.
bust it for us on the farm.
Oh, yeah.
You know, yesterday we had them out digging fence posts to divide up our hog lot, and you know we don't have to break their arm or leg to try
Yeah.
to do that. They're eager and they're always willing to help and do whatever. So
Yeah. And York's blessed, like, biggest campus, high school campus in the state or
In the country.
In the country?
Yes. A little over 400 acres.
Wow.
wow.
We've got 80 acres, right at 80 acres fenced up for the farm. The
Wow,
rest
that's
of it is
awesome.
in trees and forests right now, but
Yeah.
we have our plans is to harvest the timber and make the farm bigger.
Really?
That's in the works, yes.
Wow.
That's
Man,
cool.
I'm late. I'm so late on that.
Yeah.
I sense a little jealousy.
I'm
Yeah.
very jealous. I'd give anything if something like this was going on.
Yeah.
We was lucky to make it to the farm a couple times.
Yeah. We're there every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and you said your kids are there from 8 to 3, so you're taking almost every class up there.
Yes, other than, you know, I have a planning period,
Yeah.
but pretty much every class that I have, we go to the farm and work, or, you know, there's always something to do.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Whether it's fixing fence, building fence, or caring for the animals. You know, we try to implement our standards as much as we can into the farm for hands-on learning
Yeah.
for that purpose.
And I have a capstone ag class.
Mhm.
That's all they do. They go to the farm with me.
Mhm.
They're my workers that day or for that block.
So
That's
you're
cool.
chief farm manager,
Chief.
and she is PR farm manager.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Now, you got everything from turkeys to pheasants
Mhm.
to pigs.
Mhm.
How do you, is all of that state funded as well, or do you have a lot of donations?
That's the thing. Everybody thinks we're a state funded school. So,
Mhm.
well, the farm is like its own private little account.
Yeah.
We have to make the money that we spend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's why this pheasant hunt,
It's such a big deal.
yes, because it takes a lot of money to actually farm.
Yeah.
Feed's expensive and all this
Yeah.
upkeep. So,
Ha-
yeah, we make all the money that we spend. We have a farm account, and all the money
Mhm.
goes into that, and that's what we use.
Yeah. In today's world, I mean, especially today's time, hunting is very controversial, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean,
it
have you had
is.
any kind of kickbacks from
Well,
that?
we've had maybe one negative comment
Yeah.
this whole time, but I don't think they're from here. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm getting more and
It
more of
happens.
that. So,
And you're lucky to be up there where
Yeah.
most people are in the
Right.
outdoors stuff.
yeah.
What we found is it's way more support,
way
Yeah,
more.
oh, yeah.
Way more.
and just people getting on board. Hey, how can we help?
Yes.
Yeah.
What can we do to help your students? And because that's, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about
Yeah.
the kids. So
Yeah.
No, when I first read it, I think I watched a video you was in,
Probably,
sitting
yeah.
there talking. I was
Yeah,
like,
I'm not a good talker. I've done a few videos.
this program, it's so interesting,
Yeah.
and I mean, it can do a lot,
Right.
really. There's
That's our goal.
probably kids that never even been around guns or never even been around
Right.
animals
Right.
that are coming to y'all's class, and
Yeah, and like I say, there's one student goes with each group of hunters,
yeah,
and that might be their only time they've ever been bird hunting.
wow,
But they might get hooked on it. We're
Yeah.
hoping.
or hunting
Yeah.
in general.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So we go through all the safety and things like that, though. Of course, before they go,
yeah.
we'll do hunter safety with them. Make
So
sure it's safe.
The actual event day,
Mm-hmm.
what's it look like as far as you got dinner, they hunt all day
Well,
long?
we
or-
have a few students that will get there at 4:30 in the morning, and they'll be the ones that place the birds out in the fields.
Yeah.
Then everybody else will get there around 6:30 or 7,
Mm-hmm.
and then the first group of hunters will go out about 8, come back in for lunch. We'll eat lunch and have a little fun time there. Then the second group of hunters will go back out.
Yeah.
So
So there's two group of hunters. How many hunters total?
there's 16 hunters total.
Okay.
So
Are these? Are you guys running dogs with those?
The guys do have their dogs. They got their pointers, their setters. Yes,
that's cool. That's probably my favorite part of bird hunting.
right.
Is watching the dogs work. So.
Yeah, we actually have a vendor that's coming that they do dog demonstrations for the students that don't get to go out and hunt.
Okay.
So that's always a big hit for the kids because they've never seen that done before.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a small animal avenue for them is, you know, there's such a need for that. So
Absolutely.
There's so many, y'all are hitting so many birds with one stone in this.
Right.
And it's giving kids, I mean, you could go over here to this high school right here and I'd say 3 out of 10 might be able to tell you what hunting is.
Right.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just ag stuff in general.
Right.
Yeah. It's definitely a needed thing in all schools.
Yeah.
But you guys are. It's awesome what you're doing.
I mean, essentially teaching kids or young adults how to be men and women.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Be
That's-
responsible and yeah.
That's something that our country needs more than anything.
We're just trying to broaden their horizons, open doors for them, so in
Yeah.
the future they'll be
Yeah.
better citizens.
Do you ever see y'all like raising pheasants maybe to sell out to other places?
Well, we've thought about it. I mean, there's ways to do that.
There's
you know.
several game farms in
Yeah.
Tennessee that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So.
And Sawbriar, it's probably the most well-known
It is.
upland bird.
It is a very
Orvis certified.
Yes, Orvis certified. It's a beautiful place too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it's and Fred and Rhonda have been so helpful for us. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been great.
And if I'm mistaken, Rhonda sits on the
She does.
the board of TWRA.
Yes,
Yes.
she does.
Okay.
Yep.
We might need to get in touch with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Get them on a podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to help out, what can they do?
Well, if somebody's interested in purchasing a hunt or being a sponsor, they could get in touch with me. Email sam.brown@yaidragons.com
Yeah.
or text me 931-445-4466. But like we say, all this money that we do make on this hunt goes straight back into the farm, and it goes towards our kids'
Yeah.
experiences.
So, and I know you said that, but when you're talking about all the money goes back, is it going directly back into the pheasant or just the whole
Just
farm
the
in
farm
general?
in general.
Okay.
Yes, because we got a menagerie feed now.
So it's just
Yeah.
the pheasant avenue is just a small income source for the whole farm, essentially.
but it's a pretty good income source.
Yeah.
But yes, it's just a small part of it.
Do you have any spots for the hunts left open?
Yeah,
or
I
is
think we
everything
do.
filled?
I think we have, how many was it? Six left?
6 left, yeah.
Yeah.
What is one of those hunts
Well,
cost?
for that day, the hunt is $800, but it's a morning and afternoon hunt,
Gotcha.
fully guided. Yes.
And it's just pheasants or pheasants?
So
and
they'll be quail
Pheasants and
too.
quail,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, they'll be quail too.
Awesome.
And I think I read on the flyer, like it's a mentorship essentially too.
Yes, yes,
Right,
because you're
so it's
taking
a lot more than a
student with
hunt.
you. Yes.
Yeah.
Like last year, we had one of the hunters went out with a camera. You know,
Yeah.
he just wanted to talk to the kid and be a mentor to the kid, and he loved the way the dogs worked and things like that. So he just captured it with his camera.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
a good thing because everything now, especially in our industry,
Yeah.
is getting filmed.
Right.
And the more footage and content you can put out there, the bigger you get and the more you grow.
The more eyes you draw, the more interest you
Right.
get as well. So yeah, it's a good thing to film it.
for sure.
And actually, the students that don't get to go out and hunt, we have a select few. Upland Gun Company will be there all day, and they let them practice shooting skeet.
Oh,
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
Yeah.
And they go over safety with them too. And so that's obviously a select few that
Right.
Oh yeah.
we kind of have control over.
Sure.
But they also get that opportunity, and our kids still talk about that too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. And how many students you say will show up that day?
I'd say we'll have at least 150, close to 200. So
Golly.
We'll have 2 loads, a morning bus load, and then
Yeah.
they'll come back, and in the afternoon we'll bring another load.
That was my entire high school whenever I graduated. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost
Yeah.
half of our student
Is
body,
it?
almost.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How many more students do you think do you see trying to get in the ag classes now compared to 7 years ago?
A lot. I
Really?
mean, ag is the biggest program we have at our high school now is agriculture.
And y'all have brought that back to
Yeah.
York.
Yeah.
That's
That's
awesome.
cool.
we're working.
We're working hard.
Hey,
Yeah.
no.
Sounds like you're doing a great job. so.
You're doing really good.
We've got a lot of support though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
at school and in community. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So without the help of your sponsors and
right,
some of your school officials, couldn't be possible.
right, that's exactly right.
Well, we appreciate y'all coming on today.
Well, we
Yes,
appreciate the
thank you.
opportunity.
If there's anything we can do here at CRÜZR, just let us know.
Oh,
Be glad to help
appreciate it.
out.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you
sir.
so much.
All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Be sure to look up Feathers to Fork and check out Sam Brown on Facebook if you want to see some more information. Thank you.
We actually have a Feathers to Fork Facebook page
Oh,
now, too.
Feathers to Fork Facebook page. Check that out.
There we go. Perfect.
Brand new.
Sounds good.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, guys.